Hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here now. And if it's today, Sunday, the 30th of January, 2022, or 3 years from now, this YouTube is here for you. And I say, welcome. That word sounds the same and has been repeated ever since that Sunday in July of 2018, when Robert told me that I would be broadcasting from the Advancement Center. And the topic would be the unknown. It was an amazing moment in my life. Today, after an essential respite and reformatting and charging of all of our batteries of the Advancement Center, I say and sing, welcome to the world of magic and miracles. Welcome to your new life. And I feel the newness. It was all about bringing magic and miracles by following our spirit. That was a necessary timeout for the Advancement Center. We all sat back, smiled at one another, and realized that something even bigger was on its way to us. On Friday, David welcomed all the newness and launched us all into uncharted space where new energy, new opportunities, and possibilities, with everyone having the space to create whatever is their destiny to create. And that's all of us. No one is left out, ever. We are truly being carried when we feel the slight change in vibration. Simeon reminded us of that on January 22nd. And he said, it has been waiting for us for many, many centuries. That change in vibration. And the time is now. What a wonder and a privilege to deliver that to all of you out there. Whether or not I know your name or have met you, there is so much love streaming at this moment. So accept it, enjoy it, and let's go on. So I say again, welcome. My experience of renewal and restoration was almost beyond description. For the first time since 2018, Robert and I went from 3 and 4 days a week of setting up for broadcast to 5 days of just being together and alone and welcoming newness and cutting each other's hair. That was wonderful. I'm stopping right now because I am so thrilled with this setting here on earth. But I really feel that it's heaven on earth. The birds of paradise are crowding that bush over there. The leaves on our favorite tree are rustling silently, and each one is like a diamond. I can see the Pacific Ocean, and it's shining. And the flowers behind me are all gifts and so appreciated and loved. Where to begin? Everything is new. It's as though I've never sat in this chair before. It's exciting. And as I say that, I'm offering this chair for you out there, wherever you are. If your heart is filled with light and you have much to share, let me know. We can share this screen. We can have a conversation. We're all family. And that's what getting back meant to me. I clearly stepped into Simeon's field and discovered more. I became aware of the little joys. It's amazing. Some of the joys were a bit bigger, but noticing the little joys had an impact. The little things hold great meaning. 3 weeks ago, our dishwasher stopped operating. It was not a problem. I found a new joy standing at my sink and looking at this view and having my hands in warm, soapy water and making glasses sparkle. That's what I mean by little things. And all of a sudden, I realized nothing was little. Maintaining a beautiful home for the Advancement Center, for Simeon, for Robert, for all our guests. I love doing that. And I confess to myself the joy of those little things. It's funny, there was a song popular, believe it or not, in 1954 called Little Things Mean a Lot. That was when I realized that my focus has always been on the grand. Yeah, the earth shaking, and almost overlooked those little things. Hmm. Also, I just learned in 1954 the 4 Minute Mile was broken by Roger Bannister, another belief broken. And ever since, 20,000 people have run less than a 4 minute mile. See what happens when you can break into those beliefs? But boy, are they strong. The beliefs that have been flying around these past 2 years, unbelievable. Yeah. And I've spoken about the elevated platform of living many times before, but I have a new appreciation because from that elevated platform of living, we really are secure and loving each other and blessed to observe the antics of the play world and cheer on the people who are breaking the status quo, like the truckers in Canada. Robert used to tell me of the audacious Australian truckers who, when they were opposed to something government was trying to put over on them, they blocked every entrance to the Capitol, which is patterned after Washington, D.C., in a circle with spokes going out. So they just jammed the spokes. I love that. Now, I have two things here. I have a little note to myself to read the journal, and the other one is to invite my guest. But before I do that, I'm going to share something that thrilled me, and I know it will thrill you too, because I sent this to my art teacher, and I said, this is what I want to paint. This is the new dawn. And with each new dawn, there comes a message of newness. And that was the dawn of yesterday when all this newness happened. At this point, I think I would like to invite my most beloved guest. So, Robert, Simeon, are you there?
Hello.
Yes. So happy. Oh,
It worked.
it worked. You're in the office. I'm out here by myself. And I feel like I'm surrounded by our family.
It's a great feeling.
Yes.
It's a little bit strange sitting inside,
Well,
but it works.
you have to be at the controller's
Yeah.
computer. So you make this all happen.
Clicking
In more
buttons.
ways than one.
So far you're doing really well. It's really exciting. Your presence is something to talk about.
I was just about to read from my journal, but my journal is filled with what happened yesterday. And yesterday, I almost witnessed my own transformation from someone who was waiting to be invited or realizing how many times I've held back over the years because I thought my role was supporter and archivist and all that other stuff. And then you said, why don't you broadcast tomorrow? And I watched. My battery was renewed. You found my happy switch and you switched it on. And I've been so happy ever since. Without thought, without brain stuff, without figuring anything out, and just knowing the joy of being here, being with you,
Yeah.
and being with all our friends. And I'm loving this technology. This is amazing. It's really fabulous. Wow.
So I can't really say much, except I'm really enjoying your broadcast. I'm enjoying the way we're working together. And I think it's fabulous.
Yeah.
For a new way of handling the future.
Yeah. I came across something very interesting. I don't know where I collect everything all the time from everywhere. And this was something that Chief Seattle said. Of course, he could be sitting right here broadcasting with me because he's so much a part of the Advancement Center. But he's the chief of the Dakota and the Chickasha nations. And he said something interesting, and I'm just going to just see where I find it. Oh, yeah. And he speaks about the life of the soul after physical death, and the soul never dies. It's always bright. It's always shining. And he said, the relationship of our soul with our body is like the connection between a lamp and a mirror. If the mirror is polished and perfected, the light of the lamp appears. But if the mirror is broken or covered with dust, the light remains concealed. So he put it in very simple terms. All we have to do is keep our mirrors clean. And it was interesting because my grandmother said, if you do nothing else in the house, make sure your mirrors are polished. And that was my grandma Carrie. Yeah. Yeah. So all we're doing is making sure that we're clear of anything that would get in the way. Because we know heaven. We know love. Hmm. And then I love when you spoke about that vibration that's been waiting for us for centuries. And when we first met, I remember you spoke about, I'd never heard this before, that we all have a field and that you're so generous with your field. And we're learning that our field is valuable, can help other people. Yeah.
That's great. So you're going to read your journal?
Okay.
I'll put you back on the full screen.
Okay. Yeah, I had a choice, but I'm so glad I introduced you. Okay, this is amazing. Because yesterday morning, early, I was writing to Simeon, and he said, perhaps it is time to get up and observe newness of thought, view, and action. And, and then I had a remarkable day. And at 9:15 last night, I wrote, Dear Simeon, the turn of events today has been revelatory. David picked up the gauntlet and delivered a presentation of monumental importance because it carried a clear and accurate picture of what we here at the Advancement Center are holding and delivering to all of humanity. He had Simeon and me on our feet applauding his message. That was Friday. And today, Saturday, was very different. I found myself sitting on the couch in a very quiet state. Robert came in, asked me how I was going, and my response was not the always cheerful wife of Simeon. And within that moment, he asked me if I wanted to do a broadcast the next day, Sunday. What happened next was magical. And I witnessed my own transformation from one of patiently waiting to one whose happy switch has been located and lovingly switched on. There was a definite shift in my attention, and up from the recesses of my being, I was taking the lead instead of being the constant support and ready to accept an invitation to speak. As I write this, I can feel the deep-seated flutter of years and years of holding back. Robert recognized this. The day was magically transformed, and Robert guided me in creating the YouTube link for the broadcast and another link for the gathering. It almost felt as an imposed lockdown, with the warmth and camaraderie of our close family not allowed. I took deep pleasure in inviting our family to gather once more. Robert enjoyed my delight all day. After I requested, Robert agreed to be available, as he was. It was wonderful. As more than just my controller. Perhaps a conversation of two light hearts will happen, and eager for your words. And Simeon wrote, Dearest Barbara, the Advancement Center is alive and well and is calling for representation by every heart so tuned to magic and miracles. You have traveled miles and many years to this place right now, and together with Robert, will delight your audience today and in the future. Newness becomes you. Love, Simeon. And then there's more. At 7:20 this morning, it is time to begin again. I will show the photo, and I did, of the dawn. And I'm eager to hear your message. And this is wonderful. Dearest Barbara, You are not returning to a past position once held. Rather, you are bringing a new resilience and knowing to an even greater center of attention, love, and advancement. The time was well spent, a respite and deep reflection. A new beginning has begun. Enjoy the newness. Earth is welcoming heaven more every day. Enjoy the magic. Enjoy the miracles. We love you, Simeon. Now, I showed you the picture of the dawn, and I also text that to my wonderful art teacher who holds an online Zoom class every Thursday at 6:30. And this was what we did this past Thursday, but I want to do that dawn. And here's the latest. So, creativity, finding out what you can do is wonderful. So, I invite you all to let us know what the Advancement Center has meant for you. And we'll keep our mirrors polished, and I promise I will answer your email. So, with that, I thank you for welcoming me into your space of attention. And with all my love, I wish you a perfect life, perfect health, and an amazing, magical future. Thank you.